You look at every knee different. It's like a fingerprint. Every one has its own signature. And if you get into this enough to identify that, I think you do better knees instead of doing them all the same. As it stands, I'll probably be close to 50,000 total knees. We only have a few options for how to treat an arthritic joint. What we're essentially doing with knee replacements is putting metal and plastic surfaces where the cartilage has worn off. A bilateral knee means doing them simultaneously, doing one, closing the skin, and then doing the other one at the same sitting. We do a lot of revision knees, which also take more time. We have to take out the old parts and put in new parts. A total knee is putting metal and plastic surfaces where the cartilage used to be. And in the lower part, the tibia, there's a plate with a stem on it that goes down inside the marrow cavity of the bone. And they're traditionally titanium. Now they have come up with the same size, pretty much stem, but the tip is filled with electronics. It is telling us daily what the patient's activity was, stride length, motion. So we can now monitor the people and call them up and say, hey, you're not keeping up to where we think you should be. When I first started doing knees, you came in the hospital a day and a half ahead of time to get your tests. You then had your surgery and you spent 2 weeks in the hospital afterwards. Now you come in the morning of surgery, and the way we do it, you go home the next day. But we don't have that contact like we used to. And this is a very good way of contacting them. Most of the people working with me have been with us for 20, 25 years now. There's not much that they see that they haven't seen before. And that's a huge bank of experience that's very reassuring when you go to the operating room. And to have that kind of support around you is critical. We have 30 private rooms, 8 ORs, and then the beauty is the top floor is a Moss rehab center. We try to provide a concierge type level of care for what is the largest Medicaid population. They have very special needs. If they go to a place like Moss, they're there for as long as they need to be, and when they go home, they're pretty much independent. They can climb stairs by the time they could go home, one leg at a time often if it's a single joint. They can ride in a car. It's interesting how functional they'll be when their pain's pretty much gone. We call it TMG, the time of maximal gratitude. They realize it's actually going to work. It was probably a good thing to do. I love golfers because when they get their knees fixed, they're a little anxious about them afterwards. So when they go back to play golf, I get this scorecard, I get this lovely note about how, my handicap is now 4 strokes down. It's got to be because of the knees. Thanks so much. People with a goal, people who want to get better for a purpose, and the purposes are different. For the younger group, it's a matter of, can I do my job? Can I play with my kids? For the older group, it's, can I still live in my home? Do I have to move to a retirement facility? Do I have to put an elevator in? And all? The choices are very different, but they're really all centered around lifestyle. A good knee replacement extends life expectancy an average of 3 years, so people live longer. It changes your life, and that's, I think, what I like most about it.